All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. The long awaited suspension, or an announcement of the suspension at least, of Memphis Grizzlies All Star guard Ja Morant was announced today, as he will not be suiting up for the first 25 games of the upcoming NBA season. Morant's suspension was the result of him brandishing a handgun on social media just 2 months after he got caught doing the same thing. And the first incident resulted in Morant being suspended for 8 games. This time around, you expected the punishment to be harsher for Morant, but the 25 games that he did receive, was it too little, too much, or just right? NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has been deemed as a players' commissioner, and at times he has publicly talked about his working partnership with the players. Now, in an interview with ESPN, during the NBA's draft lottery, Silver appeared to be legitimately hurt that he once again had to have the same conversation in regards to Morant, especially since he had just met with the guard a few weeks prior at the league's offices in New York City. Now, there was some speculation that Silver would suspend Morant for at least half of the upcoming NBA season, while there was some that felt that he could possibly have been sat down for the entire season altogether. But the people in those camps that were either looking or expecting that, they will definitely look at Silver in a different light now, as they're going to feel, and they do feel, that he dropped the ball. Could Silver have suspended Morant for more than 25 games? Absolutely. And a lot of people would have felt that he would have been being justified in doing so. You look at Ja Morant's growing list of off the court incidents, and of course, the gun issues, the alleged issue with him pulling out a gun on a high school player, and so many, and several others. And it's a scenario where this thing could possibly spiral out of control. And to me, and I'm not the only person who said this, and I'm not the only person that's going to say this, but Ja Morant should be very thankful that he's dealing with Adam Silver and he's not dealing with the former NBA commissioner, the late David Stern, because I guarantee you, first time around, David Stern would have suspended Ja Morant for more than 8 games. And if David Stern probably would have suspended him for easily 15, maybe 20 games the first time around. And if that was the case, John Morant might be looking at a 50-game suspension right now, if not more. Adam Silver, he did give John Morant more games, obviously, than he did the first time around, but still, it could have been a lot worse. Now, make no mistake about it, there's a lot of things that need to happen for John Morant. He needs to get help. He needs to make better decisions. He's got to change the people around him. And then on top of that, there has to be accountability. You are a young man, yes, but you can't just get a free pass to kind of, do things like this. And it's also a scenario where you got to change the people around you, because if people around you are helping you make these bad decisions or putting you in these bad spots, you got to change the voices in the room, because you got to think about this long term. He's got an opportunity in front of him that doesn't come down the pike that often for a lot of people. He's got an opportunity to have generational wealth here, and he's got an opportunity to be an impact player. He has an opportunity to be one of the best NBA players of this era. And of course, recently the NBA had their 75th anniversary team unveiled. Ja Morant has the basketball skill to be on the NBA's 100th anniversary team when it comes to more than 20 years from now. But obviously, his talent won't amount to a hill of beans if he can't take care of the stuff off the court. So I look at it like this: has and will Ja Morant learn his lesson? Only time is going to tell, because people can say things, and I'm not just putting this on Ja Morant, people in general. People can say things and say, you know what, I'm changed, I'm going to be a better person. But at the end of the day, actions speak louder than words. So only time is going to tell if Ja Morant is going to make better decisions. But I will say this: don't be surprised within the next 12 to 18 months that Ja Morant is no longer affiliated with the Memphis Grizzlies, as they'll probably look to trade him if these things continue. Because at the end of the day, these billionaires that own these teams, they have a lot invested, and you're not going to, mess up their product, if you will. And of course, their reputations in their respective communities. And at the end of the day, when these teams, regardless of the sport, when they give out these big contracts, it's not just about what you can do on the playing field. It's also about you being a representative of that team in the community. John Morant has a lot of endorsement deals that could be fluttering if these things continue. And on top of that, he probably won't be the face of the or one of the young faces of the NBA if this continues as well. So I'll tell you like this: he got 25 games. He could have been a lot worse, and hopefully, for his sake, he'll take the time to reflect. He'll take the time to get better, make better decisions, more accountability, and just be in a better environment. And that's the best thing for him going forward. And at the end of the day, I hope that this is the wake up call that he needs. I hope that he can do the 180, because honestly, at the end of the day, the NBA is a better place when John Moran is out there on the court, because he is one of the most exciting and electrifying young men in the NBA and at the game of basketball has seen in several years. So hopefully, this is the wake up call that he needs. It could have been a lot worse, but at the end of the day, the first 25 games of the NBA season next year won't see Ja Morant participating. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now, you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I'm signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.